Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Golfing Dads. It's Tuesday night, and it's our
Your
last
favorite night of the
major
week.
of the year. It's Open Championship week.
It is Open Championship week.
You're not there this year.
There's been the group of us that went. There's a text group of us texting our favorite picture from each day that we were there last year, and so today we were at a year ago today. I was at Ardglass, and we all know my opinion of Ardglass and where that rates. So it was a pretty amazing day. I want to start off tonight, and we're going to get into the Open, obviously. I do want to start off tonight. Friend of the show, past guest, past sponsor of the show, friend of all of ours, also a golfing dad, Scott from Desert Fox, one of our favorite people in the entire industry. Scott and his family are going through some stuff that I just want to tell him that the tavern, the tavern, look at me going back to our old name, the golfing dads, we are thinking about you. We know that you're going through a lot with your family right now, and we are here for you. And whenever you need to, we are here to answer the phone and be there for you. So, Scott, we're thinking about you, your family, and just let you know we love you.
100%, Scott. We are there for you. Please reach out if you need anything. We love you, brother.
Let's start last weekend.
This weekend was phenomenal golf, and
yes,
of everything that went on this weekend, the Genesis Scottish Open was the third place. Let's be honest.
Right. It really truly was.
Let's start on the LPGA Tour at the Evian Major, and let's start with the amazing Brooke Henderson and breaking the record of the first person in any major, men or women's, and the first person to ever do this have 6 eagles in a tournament. 3 on one day. Like, what an amazing feat. All right, let's let someone else in here too. There he is.
Hey, Dave.
Felt like you forgot about me. You didn't send me a link. I was
honestly, so I had the email up. I forgot to click send. And then we were also sitting here making sure you weren't frozen, because that happens in Iowa every once in a while. So, Brooke Henderson, 6 eagles in 4 rounds. Pretty unbelievable. Kudos to her and again, doesn't win.
What I will say, to make an eagle on the 18th hole after making bogey to force a playoff. Harry-On Rue, congratulations on winning your second major this year. So congratulations. It was a well fought out, exciting match to watch. If you're not watching the LPGA, then I don't know what you are doing. Dave seems to be watching the Phillies game in the background, so Dave's on mute right now.
All-star game.
But I will say, if you're not watching the LPGA, make sure you're watching the LPGA. And if you need to get that focus, make sure you're checking out Nikon rangefinders, the official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour and of the Golfing Dads. Got to put that plug in there too.
I don't know if you.
Yeah, I forgot the game was on.
Funny enough, Greg, I'm glad that you said that. Earlier today, Mel Reed was asked about the LPGA Tour and why more people aren't watching. And there's a lot of reasons out there as to why people don't watch. But you are right. People need to watch the LPGA Tour. It's exciting to watch. There's some great golf being played. And the players there are super just approachable. They're great to talk to. They'll give you advice. Like, people out there do not realize how cool an LPGA event really could be.
And to be honest, I've been to a few LPGA events. They're just as exciting to watch as the men's events. The scores are up there. This was 19 under, won this in a playoff. And you're watching great golf. You're watching amazing golf. And to be honest, if you want to get your family out there, if you got young kids, it's a great event to take your kids to. So make sure you're checking out some LPGA events. All right.
Hey, Scratch Sign Company, you are right. Incredibly fan-friendly events. Thank you for watching on Instagram tonight, as well as the Golfing OT.
Let's go to the ISCO Championship, the other PGA event this week that a lot of PGA players are playing in. Also went to a playoff at 16 under. And they had to do something that has only been done once before at last year's Canadian Open. They had to go to a playoff, and on the third playoff hole, they switched the cup out. So kudos to that grounds crew for switching that cup out real quick.
Stephen Fisk.
But another exciting win for Stephen Fisk. It was another exciting playoff. Taylor Pendrith had an amazing round going, and it just came down to the final of 3 playoff holes.
Was it Taylor Pendrith in that Canadian Open playoff that he got beat by a 70-footer?
I think he was. I think he was 2 years ago in that. So
2 years ago, yeah. I do want to give a shout out quick. It was painful to watch. Lucas Glover led 3 straight days, led for 54 holes, led 36 holes the week before. He's playing some great golf. And I feel like his putter let him down a little bit on Sunday. But great playing by Lucas Glover. And it would have been fun to see him get in that winner's circle and get another W out there.
Yeah, that was part of the excitement of that weekend. Is there was a lot of people that were in contention on Sunday. This goes to show that I think what the PGA is doing in 2028 could show that you could have 2 events going on at the same time and have different excitement in each event that's going on. So,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to watch here in the near future. Then we go to the Scottish Open, where our man, Chris Gotterup, was defending his title.
Yep.
And he had a good week. There was a lot of back and forth in this one as well. And I think just on Sunday, Tom Kim just ran away with it. He just stayed consistent. And I think other people just kind of got caught in the rough. Or as Rory put it, man, I suck at golf.
I should have stayed with my original pick and trusted my gut and not just taken Scottie because he was there.
Couple things. I'm playing golf this coming Saturday with Alfredo, a friend of the show from the First Tee here in Central Florida. He and I are playing some golf on Saturday this week. And I'm going to get a video with Rory voicing over me hitting a bad shot saying I suck at golf. So look forward to that on social media because it's necessary.
You're going to have a lot of shots to choose from.
What, 25, 26 shots to choose from there?
I was going to say he's going to have a lot of shots to choose from out there. So,
secondly, Scottie misses a cut. Dave, Scottie misses a cut after Dave picks him. We can say that it was because Dave picked him. We'll leave that alone, though. Big deal or
That Scottie missed the cut?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's bound to happen at some point.
Right.
You 78 cuts in a row.
Right.
You're gonna,
right.
You're just waiting for the inevitable to happen. He's going to have a bad round in 1 in 78. So,
correct.
It would have been. I think it would have been different if it was, say, the Masters, the U.S. Open, something on this side of the pond. Not not taking anything away from the Genesis, which is the Scottish Open, but I think it hits differently. Him missing a cut, playing in those types of conditions over there than say missing a cut at AT&T Pebble Beach, the Masters, Phoenix.
It's not like he missed 3 major cuts this year.
Yeah.
Like somebody that. We're going to get to that here shortly. I
had to throw that out there.
I do want to throw this out here. Tom Kim gets his 4th PGA Tour win at the age of 24. Tom is South Korean and has not served his military service yet that is required of all men under the age of 28 in South Korea. He has 2 years of military service that still have to be fulfilled unless he wins gold this year at the Asian Games or a medal at the Olympics next year.
I mean, I think he can do it. I think the Asian Games are his best shot.
I would agree.
I think that I love Tom Kim. I think the way he plays, the fun he has out there, it's exciting to watch. I was happy for him this week. So, I mean, if he doesn't do that and he has to serve his civic duty for Korea, then he has to do that. That's part of what it's like growing up in certain areas, and you have to understand that. And so he'll serve his 2 years, and I think that's a loss for golf for those 2 years that he has to serve that. But maybe if he wins a medal, I find a funny exception, but I'll take it for him. I think that's great if he can get that. But we'll see. So it's either the Asian this year or it'd be LA in 28. So
yes, at Riviera.
Yeah.
In other golf news, there's 2 more things I want to talk about before we get into the Open. And in those, before we get into it, you know what we need to talk about? We need to talk about something mini. We need to talk about something mini. Control is king, and with Cobra's new King Tech mini driver, you can enhance your accuracy, find more fairways, and take control of your game. The market's most versatile mini driver, King Tech driver's exceptional playability, making it the perfect replacement for an ineffective fairway wood or even your driver. Learn more about Cobra's mini driver today at cobragolf.com.
You know where I think we'll learn more about the Cobra mini driver? This week at the Open.
At the Open, yes. I think
you're going to see a lot of mini drivers out there.
That, and I think you're going to see a lot of driving irons out there.
Yeah.
Something we've talked about on this show, and we have to talk about it again just because it was in the news. LIV Golf sales pitch has come out, and the sales pitch has turned into that it's a great investment if you need a write-off because they're so far in debt.
Yeah. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it. They're not wrong. Like, that's actually, I mean, they're seeing the writing on the wall. So if you invest,
this painting is worth $100 million, and I am going to donate it to the museum.
Exactly. You're probably going to lose money up front on this to keep this afloat and then make money later on. That's really what the pitch is. It's not a bad strategy, but when you are hanging on by a thread and the talk is that you're laying off staff, that
you filed notices with the U.S. government and the British government that you're laying off staff because you have to give 60 days notice.
Like, you're doing all of this. The signs are there that this is the beginning of the end for that. So
the other pitch that they made was that LIV is the best investment in golf because of their teams.
All right. I'm going to get on my soapbox here. LIV Golf has a good idea.
Put my feet up
and
and relax here.
Executed. They have never executed this great idea. I love the idea of team golf, but where I think they're doing it wrong, and this is my opinion, so any of you keyboard warriors out there that are like, these guys don't know what they're talking about,
they're going to anyway.
Exactly. So just listen to what I got to say here. If team golf is going to work, make it team golf. The other thing that I think you have working for you is you are playing all over the world. So make the teams have home courses. Some can share those where you can have, like, the Giants and the Jets share a stadium in New Jersey. You can have 2 teams at the in Australia. You can have 2 teams in the UK. You can have an Indiana team here because you're playing here in a few weeks. Make the teams to an area that you play so you can have a home field advantage. That would make me buy into it. But then just make it a team event. Don't have any of this individual crap out there. Don't have this, like, you're worried about world golf rankings and all that. Make it fun. Make me watch the team. Like the way I watch the Yankees, the way that Steve watches the Red Sox. I mean, they're doing a lot better right now. Ever since they traded Brown from the Celtics, the Red Sox haven't lost, by the way. And Dave roots for the Phillies. But we root for those teams because we're from those areas and we have a connection to those teams. And we've grown up. Our families have root for those teams. If they would have done that, I think LIV could have been successful. But LIV still didn't know what it wanted to be, except I'm going to go to Greg Norman for this, where he just wanted to bash and be better than the PGA Tour. And that's what he focused on. He didn't focus on proving that they have a good product. They could have a good product. Do they? No, because they've never let it shine. And people have been holding animosity towards them and not wanting to give them money, not wanting to fund this. They had the Saudis funding this for a while. If you would have leaned into that team golf before, or if you're going to lean into that in the future and do that, then maybe I think people would invest in you. But until you do that, good luck.
I do want to get some comments on here and react to those. So for all the faults of LIV, competition to the establishment is really a bad thing. I'm not arguing about competition to the establishment. I'm arguing that it wasn't done right. And Greg, I think, has argued that point very well. When you were handing out as much money as they were handing out, it was destined to fail because at some point those pocketbooks were going to run out.
Well, and you weren't investing the money in you were investing into just getting players there, but then not doing anything to grow it forward or move it forward. And you just were louder. That's all you were. You were golf, but louder. Your tagline wasn't wrong.
And Scratch Sign Company, also, thank you for commenting again. Dead in the Water. What do you guys think is the proper path for LIV guys to get back to tour? They have to be penalized somehow. Team golf, this is what makes the Ryder and President's Cup so special. Again, going back to Greg's soapbox on the team golf aspect of the Ryder and President's Cup, you have rooting interest in a country or a nation or your team geographically. LIV failed miserably at that. But as far as penalized, I do think the path back that Patrick Reed has gone on is something to take a look at. I do think that there are certain penalties that are going to be more severe for certain players based on things that they did along the way. It had been reported that Bryson and Phil were going to get stronger punishments based on the fact that they were heavily recruiting players at PGA Tour events to go play LIV. And so with that being said, I think that's why Bryson doesn't know what he wants to do. And I think that's part of Bryson's problem with his game right now is that he doesn't feel wanted on the PGA Tour, and he's trying to do everything he can to save LIV.
Yeah, I think that's where this is going to be interesting. I think you do have to take into fact Bryson and Phil and everything that happened on that end with it. I think you have to look at it from what Patrick Reed did. You were given the option of Brooks Koepka's path, and everyone else turned that down. So I think the Patrick Reed path, going the DP World Tour, earning your way back, you earn your way back. I don't think you just come back. And I think that's the big thing, is this is not just you're out of a job, we're going to let you back. Even at some jobs, if you were higher up at a job and you left and then you decide to come back, you might come back at a lower level and have to work your way back up. So I think that's the same thing here, is I want to see that path to earn your way back on tour.
Really quick on this. I actually say that, so the comment is, I'd say that Golf Entertainment TV, TGL LIV, doesn't work for drawing non-golfers. I do think that TGL kind of works a little bit in its favor, and that I feel like it's kind of a video game for some kids. And this video game generation that we have of kids, I think they get attracted to it. But I would agree it has not had, we'll say, the success that the PGA Tour has with the increased viewers and things like that. I do think, and I would like to go see a LIV event, or a TGL event. I've been to a LIV event. I would like to go see a TGL event, because I feel like in the arena, I feel like that could be really cool in there. And I 100% agree. AK is up for the rebirth of Anthony Kim. AK is up for an ESPY for Comeback Player of the Year. And
I hope he wins.
I hope he does too. I'll be honest with you. Go get it, please. I think it would be great.
And that's one thing I think we have to understand here is I am not against these LIV players coming back, and I'm not against LIV players. I like LIV players. To be honest, Terrell Hatton, I want back. That guy's awesome.
I want him cursing back on the PGA Tour.
I might make an exception to what I'm talking about for Tail Hatton. But
you're right.
I think that that's what we need to fix here. We need to fix that there's this animosity against hating LIV. I don't hate LIV. I just don't like how they handled themselves, and I don't like what they did. But I think they made an impact. And to a comment that was made earlier, that competition was good and has done good for the players who stayed on the PGA Tour and has helped what's coming in 2028 here and has helped grow the tour. But I wish it could have happened a better way, and that this could have been not a pissing contest between a tour and a fake tour.
The other thing you need to do is get your young golfer started right with Upswing Golf and their full kids lineup of clubs designed for proper fit, real performance, and serious fun. Upswing Golf, grow like a pro. Upswinggolf.com. Wow. Can I put this up here? I mean, I don't want to pat ourselves on the back, but I'm going to do it. Y'all are the only mature discussion I've heard about LIV. Strong work, gentlemen.
And that's true, but we need to be better at understanding that, hey, there was some heated things between this. There was politics came into this with golf. This got out of hand, and it needs to be over. And we need to be understanding that, hey, these guys are going to come back. We liked them before. Like, I only think the people that I really hold animosity to is to Phil Mickelson and to Bryson to some extent of the same thing of you tried to drag people away to this and didn't do it in the right manner. That's really what it is.
Sergio said some things. Bryson also said some things after he left about the PGA Tour that I don't think tour players have forgotten. And I really feel like that is also some of the things that, again, he was welcome at the Ryder Cup. Don't think that he's going to be welcome back to the PGA Tour with open arms like he thinks he's going to be. John Rahm, and this is not LIV related.
It's just John Rahm.
This is John Rahm related. John Rahm in his press conference said that they need to put a major in Australia based on his golf recently and the things that he has done. Now, we can go back and Dave, you, Greg, and I discussed this at the Players after what seemed like the PGA Tour was trying to make the Players the fifth major. And I, being a huge fan of the Players, said, if they're going to make a fifth major somewhere, as much as I love the Players, it needs to be Australia. Dave, your take.
I think it's good to start going internationally. Greg and I have openly mocked you about your desire for the Players being the fifth major.
I said this year that it needed to be in Australia. I said it's not the Players.
We only do that because, Bradley says drink and you post, of being there, just like your open hat right now. I have no problem trying to expand this game globally and looking at, some of these other things. We've talked about, quiet, please. We've talked about the Canadian Open, the Scottish Open, Australia. We've talked about these tournaments playing bigger audiences, and I think it's time to start embracing some of that culture to you want to expand the game and grow the game. This is the countries and the places you need to do it, and not just on the fall swing or on the DP World Tour. It needs to be a commitment of PGA guys going and playing in a PGA sanctioned event on another continent.
I absolutely love this idea. And the comment that was posted here from Facebook from Mr. White here is, how about rotating the site for the fifth major, Australia, Africa, Asia, etc. Love the idea of this and moving it around. I think that South Africa, as we saw after the LIV event there, we had the President's Cup at Fancourt years ago, the one that ended in a tie. I think that is a great idea. I think the problem that you run into, there are two problems with this that I see. From a sponsorship standpoint, are you going to get somebody that's going to be able to sponsor this globally? From a sponsorship, financial, everything else standpoint. The other thing that I think I see in this is Rory has said that 5 majors don't work, that 4 majors work great because of history, tradition, and all this other stuff. To make an event now that's a brand new event that's going to travel the globe to what are the 4 other continents that don't have the 4 other continents that don't have a major on them. I feel like you need to, because we're not going to Antarctica. It's going to be hard to create an event that has major staying power right now that's going to travel that much.
So I think that I like the idea. I mean, the LPGA has 5 majors, so it's obviously doable. And 2 of them are overseas. The Evian is in France, and the Open, obviously, in the UK. I think you could do it. I think 2028, when they're thinking about how they're going to make that look and that schedule look, I think that's the time to make it happen. Is you need to, yeah, that's true.
That's
you need
true.
to make sure that I think you need to work with the DP World Tour and come up with, hey, if we're going to have a 5th major, we need to really go big with it. And I do like it being international. I do like it more than the players being the 5th major and being here.
Yep.
I don't know that I like the idea of the rotation. I will say that. I like the idea of doing that, but I think it almost needs to be in the same place. Like it needs to be Australia, or it needs to be South Africa, or it needs to be China. It needs to be in the same place and not rotate between those, because you're going to create that destination and that'll help it grow and be bigger than what it needs to be. So I like the idea of the rotation. I don't think that would be the right way to do it.
Right. All right. So it's time to dive in. And when you dive in to your game, you need to dial in your game with the Bridgestone Tour B featuring Mindset Technology. The visual cues help you focus, commit, and roll up pure. Same tour level performance, now with a smarter way to lock in. Find your fit and play today, the Tour B at bridgestonegolf.com. Yeah, that box that came out today and our contact with Bridgestone, this open package that they're sending out, I need. There are needs and wants in life.
This is phenomenal. If you're looking for a fun gift for a golfer out there, you get a few things with this. You get a beanie hat, you get the scarf, and you get this beautiful box with the best golf balls on the planet. And if you don't think that, just look at Chris Gotterup and what he's won this year using the Bridgestone Tour B series.
By the way, also shout out to fellow Bridgestone golfer, Mr. Boo Weekly. And shout out to him finishing second at the Kulog Championships. They're a major this week. It's his best major finish on the Champions Tour. And great job this week, Boo. We are working on I will say that there was also a great thing last week. Shout out to the guys on Foreplay in an interview with one of their hosts. Kevin Kisner talked about Boo being someone who might be the best guy to drink beer with. Greg and I, you have had the opportunity to have a beverage with Boo, and we will confirm that is a good time. We'll just leave it at that.
I've had a beverage with Boo. I've had a beverage with Daly. We've had
some beverages with some pretty good dudes. So.
Some of the best
beverages with Daly hit different.
They did. Beverages with Boo and his wife. And if you're not checking out their Instagram page, you're missing out. That is a fun Instagram page as well.
Boo's great.
But yeah,
go shopping now. Get those Bridgestone Mindset. They're freaking awesome.
Boom! It's for the kids.
Boom it for the juniors.
Boom it, yeah. So we're back. Jordan Spieth is the location defending champion after a questionable ruling. That, by the way, where that ruling took place and he took the drop from on the driving range is now a MasterCard 10.
No. I feel there should be some promotion there too with MasterCard that we should talk about, but we don't have that promotion yet.
So definitely cool opportunity there. done some rework in this golf course, and they made a 241-yard par 3, the 15th hole.
We've talked about this on here too much. I don't think par 3s should be over 190.
I'll give you 205 because most tour players are hitting 7-iron there.
If you're pushing 205, that's fine. But I really, once you're that, I want to see the shorter. I want to see you use the shorter clubs there. I think when you're just pushing it back there, you're just being silly.
I just think you're adding yardage to the golf course to add yardage to the golf course. And it's really not necessary. The golf course itself tends to leave us with winners that don't take it deep. This isn't one of those golf courses that you see guys. You're not going to see 20 under this week. So what do you think over under? Do you think we get to 5 or 6, or do you think we go? A little different at Birkdale?
Before you give odds here on that, I think it's going to be interesting this week because it's been very dry there. So
yes,
I think this course is going to run out. I think that you're going to have to play shots to run up, not hit bomb shots in there. You're not going to be throwing darts on the green. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be that low. I think the winner's going to be at like 9 or 10 under. But
the proper slice, we will get to who's winning here in a minute when we make our picks. And yes, Scratchline Golf, definitely it's also into the wind at 241.
Yeah. Dave, what are the odds?
I'll take my 7. I'll take my 7.
That's a good par. That's a good par 5 for you, Dave.
Yeah. No shocker that the defending Open champion, Scottie, is coming in just under 7-1. Rory at about 8.5. And then it takes a jump. Matty Fitz at 17.5. Fleetwood at 19. Rahm at 19.5. Xander at 24. Goddard at 29. Cam Young at 29. Ludwig at 32. Morikawa at 33. Victor at 34. Bobby Mack at 36. Hatton at 38. Wyndham at 39. Justin Rose at 41. JT at 55. The aforementioned Tom Kim also at 55. Bryson at 56. Brooks at 57.
Well, we're going to ask what's Bryson's odd of making the cut. That's the odd I want to know.
I'll tell you in a second.
I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at this comment here. Dave has to hit driver than 3-wood to get 241 into the wind.
No, it's driver off the deck.
Oh, DOD King.
DOD. There we go.
Bryson, let's see. Bryson
to
make the
golf.
cut
Thank you for
is
watching
-2. -2 to make the cut.
-2 to make the cut.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have plus odds to make the cut.
Well, that's it. It's saying the odds are for him to make the cut.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're so like right now, if I were to put a $10 bet on him would pay me $4.54.
Or you would pay you nothing. You'd lose $10.
Yes, I'd lose $10 on him making the cut. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. It would pay me. Yeah, it would be 10 or $14.54 with the $10 back. But that's how those negative odds work there.
Bradley is on fire tonight.
Oh, we are. I think this is a challenge at the PGA in January. Dave DOD versus Bradley. I think this is
I'll take that new Cobra mini driver and do DOD off the deck there.
That mini driver doesn't count for DOD.
Mini driver doesn't count.
That's made for that.
Hey,
all right.
I gotta ask.
We'll film that.
Did you guys watch Monday? They had
Obviously
they had the last chance qualifier on Monday, where 12 players played, including there was our favorite caddy, Luke Hopkins was out there caddying for Aldrich. 12 players played off. It was on the Golf Channel for the last spot in the Open. Now, funny, Aldrich didn't get in. However, thank you to Louis Oosthuizen. Luke's getting to carry a bag this week, so he's in the tournament.
Oh, he's carrying for Oosthuizen.
No. Oosthuizen withdrew. Aldrich got in.
Okay. Aldrich got in. I thought you were saying.
So, I did text Luke today, told him good luck. We'll be watching. So, excited to hear that one. Does every major need this last chance qualifier on Mondays where it's like a Monday qualifier with 12 players that aren't in the field to get in? Maybe some of your alternates.
I think it's interesting in the sense that you have so many avenues, especially in an Open Championship, where like a Peter Finch has been doing his Open Championship qualifier on his YouTube channel, where he goes out and tries to qualify for the Opens. And he goes through all the qualifying stages, which are a lot. Like we have the longest day in golf for the U.S. Open. So I don't know if I like it for every single major. I mean, it's interesting that they add it to the Open. I mean, what I would like to see is Augusta have it. Like, imagine that. The first major of the year, you take 12 guys, put them on a Monday qualifier to fight to get to Augusta for like the first time in their career. You know you're watching that.
Well, and you play it at Augusta. It would give the people that are there on Monday something to do, not just watch a practice round. Not that the practice rounds are terrible because you're at Augusta, but when you take 4 tee times, send them out in threesomes, and you're literally watching these guys play for a spot in the tournament on a Monday. Like, I agree with you. I think Augusta is the one tournament that gets the pass, only because you have this. It's the invitational. Augusta's an invitational. You got to earn your invite to get in. So could you say that the last invite comes from that? You could. And they hand them maybe framed a nice little the invite that we all see around Christmas time when the players get it. But I do think that when
right address.
Yeah. fair take. But then I actually love this. I think this is a great idea. I'm glad that the Open did this. It's something new. I think it's great to put it on TV. You can watch it. You can see what's going on. You get the announcers out there. The Golf Channel covered it this week, and they've re-aired it. And I just think it was great.
Well, that's what I think, that if you have these things and you want to get people into the game, this can make things exciting for that. That's what I like. Yeah. I mean, we've had Ryan Lenahan on this for the past 2 years for the PGA, because they play in their championship to get into the PGA championship. And that's exciting. So this is kind of that sort of thing. So I think if you do that and have something that's, hey, this is that last chance, this is what, but you have to get into that somehow, and what that is. Maybe for every major, maybe it would be good and it would be fun to watch. So, but I think Augusta would be amazing.
I not to take anything away from Aldrich. I'm glad that he's in, but I didn't. Obviously, I've had an extremely busy weekend. And is it fair for the alternates to go through and play in that, not get in, and then be like, oh, somebody dropped out, you're in? Now, I understand that's the way the PGA works. It's how tournaments work and everything. Do you say like the first 2 or 3 alternates don't get a chance to play in that because there's a chance that somebody may drop out and they're going to be in it anyway? Do you take people a little bit farther down the list, or you take your list of first 12 alternates and say, here's your chance to get in without somebody dropping out?
I like the last thing you said there, because I think that if you take the alternates and you say, okay, you're all alternates to this event, but one of the slots we're going to give to somebody, you're going to play for that one slot. So the person who's the 12th alternate now has a chance. Then,
and so say the number 1 alternate wins that slot in, everybody just moves up a spot.
Well, no, what I say is you take how you finish in that event, and now that's your order of alternates afterwards. So you could have been the 6th.
Oh, that would be
now
good.
You've jumped up to the 3rd alternate because of how you finished.
Because of how you finished.
I also think that makes the alternate thing more exciting, and I almost think you could do that on more events as well.
Yeah,
like earn your way to be that alternate.
Live golf beats watching rebroadcasts on Monday on the Golf Channel. True story.
That is 100% true.
100% true.
If you're watching anything that's out there, I think that that's a great way to get people into it. And it's a one-day event. It's going to go quick. It's not like it's going to take up your whole weekend to watch this thing.
Well, it's also 12 guys. You're not talking about the field of, a Monday qual with 140 players and a Monday qual vying for 2 spots or 1 spot. Like, you're talking about 12 guys, televised, easy camera coverage. You don't have to worry a lot about it. Cameras are already in the golf course. Oh, and you're not taking away really practice rounds from the players who are out there to practice that day because it's 4 tee times.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to go down a different rabbit hole here. For the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup, the last 6, so the captain's picks, take those 12. So number 7 through 18 or 19, take those people, and the top 6 get in because they're playing the best right now.
What is this, college golf qualifying?
But that's what I'm saying. We always talk about about how sometimes these people get in that aren't playing the best golf right now. This would show you who's playing the best golf right now and would help you do that. Have this event. And to be honest, I'm going to watch that. And I'm going to root for people that I want to get in. Like we talked about Lucas Glover earlier and that he should have been in the Ryder Cup a few years ago.
Or Goddard.
Exactly. I would be rooting Goddard on. I mean, right now he's in the President's Cup top 6, so he doesn't have to worry about a captain selection. But think about that. Think about how exciting that would be or maybe earn 3 out of the 6. Welcome to the Thunderdome, folks. Yep, exactly. Yeah. But how exciting is that? That would make it more exciting. And I think it gives you the people that are playing well right now.
And I think if you win one of those, you're going to come in on a very good high coming into that because you're playing great golf and you won your way in. You weren't picked. You won your way in.
All right. So let me ask you guys this. Now that we're into the Open this week, it's our last major of the year. What are some of the storylines or exciting things that you're looking forward to seeing this weekend?
Americans play on foreign soil because the Ryder Cup is over there next year.
That's true. Let's see that.
I think the biggest story that you have to watch is
Scottie going for 2 missed cuts in a row.
No, I don't. I think that the Scottie story is a story nonetheless. Anyway, I mean, this is the first. The PGA and the U.S. Open both had players who had a chance to win the career Grand Slam. We don't have that this go around at the Open Championship, so you don't have that storyline. Yes, Bryson getting the trunk slam is definitely high on a lot of people's list. Thanks, Bradley.
I like the dumpster fire slam better
for you.
But I also think that when you look at one of the cool things about the Open and the Rota and the golf courses that they play, I actually think one of the coolest stories this week is there's a guy from Southampton right around the corner there. It's basically a home game from where he grew up in Tommy Fleetwood. And how does Tommy play? I think that's a very interesting story. Rick, yes, Americans playing well would be great. I also think this could be, and nobody's really talking about it, this could be the last time we have a delineation between LIV and PGA Tour players at a major.
That is also true. I mean, we got to see that the Scottish was the first time that a non-major had LIV players in it because it's a DP World Tour sanctioned event with the PGA Tour. So I'm hoping this is the last time we have that because to be honest, I want to get back to some more normalcy and not this drama that's out there. I think there's too much drama.
I would like a Tuesday with regular golf news, not with breaking news on a gajillion things. I know when we started this podcast, we started on Monday nights and we moved it to Tuesdays because of Monday Night Football because we didn't want to take away from the Monday Night Football audience.
Goodell asked us.
Not to. Yeah, they do. Roger asked us. I know that we were going to move it back to Mondays and then move it back and play this ping pong. I had to leave it partly because it seems like every time golf news breaks, it's on a Tuesday. And it gave us something to talk about, breaking on Tuesday nights. So I think that I would love a Tuesday where we're not hearing, oh, the LIV sales pitch, or oh, this about LIV or that about LIV right now. And that's really all the talk is. I would just love a Tuesday where golf news was normal. I would love to go back to those days where it's not, breaking news, and it's actually breaking news of straight drama. So that's my 2 cents on that. I do think that would be nice to go back to. Again, I don't know. We've all talked it. I don't see how LIV survives this, but stranger things have happened in this world.
So let's get back to the Open here and what we want to see. I like the Tommy Fleetwood thing. I think also Fitzpatrick has been playing well. Both Fitzpatricks have been playing well.
Both Fitzpatricks. Yep.
So I think that's a storyline that will be interesting, is that Fleetwood, Fitzpatrick, how they're going to do out there. I'm going to talk about it, but I don't feel like he's been a big storyline as of late. I feel he's kind of been in the back. I feel a big storyline about him is he hasn't played enough events this year, and we'll get to that at some point on one of our shows, but I'm not going to talk about that tonight. How do we think Rory's going to do this week? Dave?
I think he played well last week, and it's always interesting watching. And you talk about Tommy being, this almost like a home game for him. We saw the pressure Rory was under, when the Open was there in Ireland, and he kind of struggled with that. And I feel, I don't know if Tommy's going to feel the same pressure because it's not a home game, but it was, it's right down the road for him. But I think those countrymen there, when courses are near and dear to their heart, they're trying to necessarily a little bit harder because, they want that win in their backyard. So it'll be interesting to see Fleetwood try and navigate those changes with everything come. I originally had Matt Fitz last week. I should have stayed with it rather than taking it. I think
get over it, man. You made your choice.
I did. I think for him, he is such a technician when it comes to everything, and he has books on shots and the way he hits the ball. I think he plays really well here this week. He would be, probably my odds-on favorite going into it.
I have to say, when you look back at the past champions at Birkdale, you have Jordan who won there. Jordan Spieth won there. Padraig Harrington, Mark O'Meara.
Seve win there?
No. Mark O'Meara's year was also the year that Justin Rose, as a 17-year-old, burst onto the scene. Ian Baker Finch won there. Tom Watson, Johnny Miller, and then you go to Lee Trevino, Peter
so
Thompson.
Who's who of major champions?
Peter Thompson, Arnold Palmer, and Peter Thompson. Peter Thompson won there twice, 2 of his 5 Open championships. But they're not outside of Arnold, none of these guys were the longest hitters. Like, when you think about it. So you don't have to overpower the golf course in order to win there.
Well, that's where I think that the weather and it being so burnt out over the past few months there, I think that's where that helps you, because you can hit the ball and just let it run out. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to have to change their game. If you're a dart thrower on the greens, that's not going to be your game this week. Your putter is going to have to be one of the best clubs in your bag, as always at a major, but even more so here, because you might have a lot longer putts that you're going to have to sink and drain out there. So
and just remember, this was also the side of go get that. Get that, as he said to Michael Greller.
I think that's what you're going to have to do, is you're going to have to go get that this week by hitting those mini drivers and getting those that 1 iron out of your bag and driving it, letting it run, because it's going to be so dry out there. I think where you're going to get yourself into trouble is anyone who's going to be really off the fairway or gets into those bunkers, I think that's where you're really going to get yourself in trouble out there. So that's why you don't have to be the longest hitter, because if you're bombing it too far or you're not controlling your accuracy out there, that's going to really hurt you. So we'll see. Yep. That's where I think Bryson, this is going to be tough for him, because if he gets in trouble like that and he's not in the fairways, we're going to see the fourth.
Do we see a 10 on Bryson's card this week if he gets in a bunker?
That's a question for our odds man. But I think you do.
Is there a prop bet on that, Dave?
No, there is not. There is not. But I think it's a fair take. We've seen, these pot bunkers come into play so much, and Bryson's not the guy that he still wants to overpower the golf course. I think he might be smarter, but there's going to come a shot where he goes, I think I can make that, and it gets stuck or it hits and it trickles back down. And then next thing you know, he's looking at, shot number 4 out of the bunker. And it's a chance that, he, gets to draw a guy with a little hat and some arms on his card, or maybe even a number 10.
I think that the rest of the majors this year, so taking Augusta out of this, because the Masters play at the same course every single year. So you know what you're going to get out of Augusta, because it is what it is.
It's Augusta.
But when you went to the PGA and the U.S. Open this year, both at the PGA and the U.S. Open, you had crazy weather conditions at both and crazy course conditions at both. We had Ryan on here talking about how crazy Thursday and Friday was at the PGA. I think if you used those two to prepare you mentally, that's going to put you in a better place for this week, because you're going to have to use everything you learned from playing in those types of conditions at the last 2 majors, that if you learned from that, you'll play well this week. I don't think Bryson has learned from that, because I don't think Bryson has had time to learn from that, because I think he's had too much other stuff on his plate.
Yep.
So I think that he'll get in trouble. I think if you start to see him drawing everything like he was doing at the other majors and just missing spots, not hitting targets like he used to, it's going to be another missed cut for him, and you're going to maybe see that 10 on his scorecard. I've talked about it ad nauseum on here. I don't think he's focused. I think Sir Nick Faldo said it great, is that he's just not in the right mindset for this. And if he has turned that around and comes into this major in the right mindset and can get himself back when he's not playing that well and change his game on the course, you might see a different outcome, but I don't think we're there.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
Dave, with that, we did the duck race before you got on here. I won, Steve got second, and you got third.
That's fine.
So I will start with my first pick. And we've talked about this all year. I've waited for this moment all year. I think this is his time. I think he's playing well again. He just had a win. He did not defend his title at the Scottish Open, but give me Chris Goddard to win his first major.
Bastard.
I said when he said he was taking him,
the whole reason I wanted to win the duck race was I wanted our boy Chris Goddard up. I wanted our Bridgestone brethren here, my New Jersey brethren.
I said that. I said it at the beginning of the year that was my pick for the Open when we talked about this.
I agreed with you, actually. I thought that this would be his best chance, and I think he's just playing well again at this time. So give me Goddard up.
Steve, you taking Rory again?
I am going to take Rory back-to-back weeks, partly because, Bradley, thank you for making my pick. I just need to make sure with where I am in points that I don't miss a cut.
Dave, I want to make a plea to you for this, because I want to see it happen. You made it happen.
I've already typed my pick in. Once you pick Goddard up, I typed mine in.
Okay. I really hope you pick Tommy.
No.
Oh, because you willed him, because you picked him to win his first win at the Tour Championship last year, and I think you can get him his first major if you pick him this week. That was my plea to you. So I'm making that.
Just tell me you're taking Fitzy, because you're going to take Fitzpatrick, because he fits in the line of actually guys that could win this week in the past champions.
Didn't I just say like just a few minutes ago he was my odds-on favorite as a pick?
Yeah.
And I
so-
screwed it up last week. I'm
Dave's
not
picking
doing it
Ricky
again
Fowler.
this
You
week.
know what's going to be great
picking
is if
Ricky
Tommy
Fowler.
Fleetwood
Is he,
wins
if
this
he
week.
misses the cut.
No, if Tommy Fleetwood wins this week and Fitzpatrick is like second, and I told and tried to tell you to pick him, but
That's all right. I would still get more points than both of you guys.
Speaking of Ricky Fowler, to be honest, Ricky's actually playing okay. I don't think
Ricky. I don't think Ricky would be a bad pick this week. Again, fits in that group. Not the biggest hitter,
and played well.
I actually think he could have a really good week this week.
So, all right. With that being said, enjoy the Open. Enjoy the last major, everybody.
Cheers, y'all.